Hi, greetings. Thank you for being here. Okay, so it's been a while since I've done the 9-day calendar. But oh my gosh, the 9-day, I say moon calendar. I had changed it to like the 9-day earth calendar, but let's call it what it is. It is the 9-day. And no matter what they say about how we used to teach this calendar and how we used to count, I do not believe them. It's predominantly, I do believe a lot of the stuff that's in the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets. Most of what we have been handed down, still, even in that information, is oftentimes handed down by the masculine patriarchy system. And I'm just going off of what I've noticed. When I do 9 and 27, all things 9, especially with the moon, it is stop it. Like, it's okay. So we're going to start right from right now and what's coming up. Okay, so today, as I record this video, is a Saturn's Day on the Gregorian calendar, October 26th. Is today the 26th? Yeah, October 26th. So it is Saturday on the Gregorian calendar. Now, I didn't go 13 days backwards because I feel like some of the hint is in the 9-day calendar and how if you're not looking at that and the focus would be solely on the sun. But we will keep in mind because, what day was it? Of this month, some big stuff happened. And if you went back, okay. I point this out because so today is the 26th, but if we go back 13 days, it will be the 13th. And it will be the 13th of October. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Each time I'm doing this, I have to remind myself that the calendar that we are given is based off of actually the Julian calendar, which is the supposed first sun calendar. And so I'm starting to think that the sun calendar and the mainstream patriarchal system had to be built at the same time, right? Because that's how it would work. You would build in the proof with the daytime, and this kind of reminds me of the whole Marduk. Anyhow, okay, so today, the 26th of October, the energy of the planets, if we go by the first day of the month starting on the first day of the new moon, and this month happens to follow it perfectly. The first would have been the first day of the new moon on the Gregorian calendar. So this month makes it a little easier to kind of follow both the moon, the sun, and the system that we've been given, so to speak. Okay, so with the energy of it being the 26th of this month, so we would be ending the third 9-day cycle tomorrow. Okay, it's Neptune, the energy we would be in with the new moon starting on the first day. Earth today would be Neptune. Okay, and then we have the number 26, which is 8, right? And then we have the month, which is 8, but technically 10. It's so fun, the geometry they do with us. And then if you start the first day of the month, the day after the last day of the new moon, today would be Jupiter energy, okay? And that would have been the 4th. The 4th on the Gregorian calendar would have been the first day of the 9-day calendar after the end of the new moon. So, if you're not aware, on the Gregorian calendar on Thursday the 3rd, actually on the second day of the new moon, it was the eve and the beginning of Rosh Hashanah. Okay? It began at sundown on the 2nd. So the second day of the new moon began the first day and the first night. So these are giant hints. The beginning of Rosh Hashanah starts at sundown, at night. But is it also the beginning of their day because it is nighttime and we used to go by the moon? Just saying. Okay. So we have Neptune and Jupiter energy combined with Saturn. That makes sense to me when I think about the energy of today. So it's like you have the Saturn energy, which can be mostly, I look at Saturn energy as like tough mom love. Tough mom love in a way that can be mostly tough mom love. Like there's Jupiter is kind of the one that's like, good job. Whereas Saturn's like, you could do better. It's kind of my theory. So along with Neptune, which has a watery and somewhat, I think, psychic and encouraging energy, along with Jupiter, I was just saying, it was like the one who's like, okay, good job. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You might be feeling like, hey, I got stuff to do. I've been doing really good at doing some stuff, but there's some other things I really need to work on, while also recognizing certain spiritual and psychic gifts that are either upgrading, expanding, and could also be bringing in some body responses, in that sometimes when we are feeling energetic stuff, our body will take it on and we'll attribute it to maybe like a headache or a stomach ache, or we've hurt our muscles, when actually it's a call from the energies to help you. And I think most of us see stars because of what I just talked about in my other video, how connected we are to the planet and to the energies. It's actually a call to find a way to release those energies or let them go. And so with that said, earthing, putting your feet on the ground, always can be a benefit. Water, especially either water, any body of water, and even taking a bath. Okay, even using water to just throw on your body, even out of a spray bottle with intention and infusions. It's very magical. Okay. All right. So as we continue, like I said, tomorrow would be the last day of the 9-day cycle, starting the new moon cycle, the first day of the new moon. And then we have our new moon for this month beginning on, guess what day? The 30th. Right before Halloween. Okay. And this year, they're not setting the time back until that weekend before voting. Just keep that in mind. If you can try, if you are participating, try to make your vote before the time change, is my suggestion, which is basically, we still have another week, but we would have been changing it this week. And if you're in the lucky states that time change doesn't happen, awesome. Cool. Okay, so then we have the 31st, which would have the new moon in Mercury, and it would be, the new moon Mercury, and it would be Earth on the, no. Yeah. No. Okay. So Pluto on the 30th, but also Earth on the 30th for new moon starting on the first day of the new moon, right? Calendar starting on the first day of the new moon. And then, with that said, there's only 2 nights of the new moon this year. No, not this year. Good goddess. Okay, give me a moment to focus. Okay. Oh, no, okay. Okay. So the last day of the 9-day calendar that starts the day after the new moon also ends the first day of the new moon, which would be Pluto on the 30th. And so I just found that interesting because Pluto on the 30th, and then the next day is what we call All Hallows Eve or Halloween. And that, with the way I'm doing this calendar, it would be day out of time. I didn't even put that together. It would be a day out of time for the calendar that starts after the new moon, and then one more day out of time on the 1st, and then the first day of the 9-day calendar that starts after the new moon, it would be Saturday the 2nd, and it starts with Mars on that Saturday. So we go through the month, and what I started noticing is that Pluto and Saturn started matching on certain days. And I was like, Pluto and Saturn, have I done that before? I don't remember seeing that before. And if I have, I didn't really make a note of it. I'm looking back at some of the calendars, and I don't really see Saturn. Oh, there's a couple. But what I really noticed is we will be in Pluto again on the 28th, which is Thanksgiving of November. It will be a day at a time as far as the first day, 9-day calendar. But it will be Pluto Day on the day after the new moon. And then, what other thing? So all the way into December, there was another thing I was going to point out. Oh, Election Day. All right, so Election Day is Mars on the Gregorian calendar this year, Uranus on the 9-day calendar starting the first day of the new moon, and Mars again the first day after the new moon. So we have Mars energy on Mars Day with Uranus on a day of election right after they set the time, change the time. I think this is all on purpose, y'all. That is a lot of energy. Double Mars and Uranus. That's a lot of energy, and that's Election Day. So I noticed that one. Then Pluto on Thanksgiving. And these are rituals. These are rituals, okay? And then, so into December. And so we have the Giving Tuesday, the first Tuesday of December. And then it has a Jupiter and Mercury energy on a Tuesday with the Mars. And then the first day of winter on the 21st, which is a Saturday. So Saturn energy. It has Jupiter and Mercury energy, the first day of winter. And then we move into Christmas week. So we have Tuesday the 24th, which is Christmas Eve, and that energy is Neptune and Jupiter on Tuesday with Mars. And then we have Wednesday, Christmas. Guess what? It's Pluto and Saturn on the Mercury day. Mercury on the Gregorian calendar, Pluto on the first day new moon calendar, Saturn on the day after new moon calendar. And what is Christmas known for? It's known for being called Saturnalia, based on the moon. And then Pluto? I mean, stop it. Then the next day, because that night, Christmas night will be the beginning of Hanukkah. Okay? And so the next day for Hanukkah would be it would be a day out of time on the first day new moon calendar, and Uranus first day after new moon calendar. And then January 1st has, let's see, so we'll just be coming out of the new moon, because the new moon starts on December 28th and lasts through the 30th. So we will be ending the year on a new moon. Although technically we're always beginning the year on the new moon. So actually New Year's would be Saturday the 28th. Yeah. Because that's the first day of the new moon. Or it would be Tuesday the 31st. The first day after the new moon. So it's almost, you can, to me, I feel like you can see how they skew the calendar and skew the time. And then even if we take the 26th, it would go back to the 13th, the 26th, which would be the first day of Hanukkah, even though it started that night before, it would be 13. And guess what? It's Saturn again on the 13th of December, if you're going by the first day of Earth, or the first day of the calendar being the first day of the new moon. So either way, look what's being celebrated, Saturn. And why would they know that Saturn's even there if they're not following the process of the moon calendar based on the 9 planets? I mean, the moon isn't even in the calendar except for the new. What is always in the calendar? What is always changing in the calendar? The moon. New moon. It's always on the calendar. It's always on the calendar. New moon, full moon. New moon, full moon. But they don't tell you, like, first day of Aries. I don't see that in here. First day of Gemini. First day of... You don't see that on most calendars unless you specifically get an astrological calendar. But they always let you know what the moon is doing. And these are, to me, hints as to the truth of the energies. So I share all that because, what? Saturnalia, Saturn, Pluto, Saturn again on the 13th if you go backwards from the 26th. And then if you go backwards from the 25th, it would be the 12th, which would be Jupiter and Mercury on Thor's day, which is double Jupiter day. So it would be double Jupiter energy according to the 12th of December. But it would, what are the stars doing on the calendar from the days that they've given us? And I know that how I describe this is confusing, but after doing it we're going on year 4 now. I can't believe it. I've been studying this for 4 years. That was Mother. She was like 9. Everything's 9. I have a video where I talk about 9 and numbers and subtraction and addition and how our compensation puts us in certain wavelengths of understanding when in actuality we would have been taught differently. And these would be things every day. You'd go to school and they'd be like, okay, we're going to talk about what position the moon is, where the planets are. Do a little either dancing or meditation or singing. We taught this. We taught it. And we taught it in a way that was emotionally grounding. Because that's the other thing. Let's just venture into that for a second. Okay, if the planets and the moon have an influence over your body, and emotions and elements and water and intentions have effect over your body, and trauma and all those things have effect over. So if you are only aware of what is presented, if you're not shown like this is also what's happening, not just on your chart, it would be, I wonder if I could come up with a moon sign chart. where nothing is based on the sun, and we just go off of what was going on with the moon on that day you were born. I wonder if I should check into that. I've done a little bit on my own birthday and such. Okay, so where was I going with that? Oh my gosh, I apologize. I gotta stay focused. That's why I distracted my own self. Okay, but if we were directed in a more moon sign way, along with all the other stuff, along with understanding our emotions. So if we're unaware of our emotions and unaware of our energetic connection to stars and planets, oh yeah, they could really play with us. I think that's part of all of it. There's so many aspects of the spell to keep us distracted or unaware, but connecting the emotional part with the astrological sign or the lunar sign, the lunar astrological sign, because the moon is emotions. That would make sense. This is why we would focus on the moon. This is why the moon would be our main teacher. Oh my goodness. When did I see that before either? Well, this is a fun way of discovering it. Okay, so, all right, I'll make a little note to myself to start looking into. I wonder if we could calculate that, because has somebody already done that? Calculated signs strictly by the moon rather than the sun? Oh my gosh. Let's see. Moon signs. So it would be similar. You'd have like your moon sign, which I think a lot of us already know. Like, you know your moon sign. Most people who are into astrology, they know their moon sign, but their moon sign is based off of the sun sign originally. I'll do some research, and if you know, please, if you know something around that or are interested in that also, or have some guiding links maybe, please let me know. But yeah, that would make sense. That would be why the mothers would teach awareness of emotion, because they would be aware of the moon, which is where they based all their calendars, which your everything, because your menses, your moon cycle, all the emotions that come with that. And maybe even the link with testosterone and emotions, and how the moon affects testosterone. I'll write that down too. Moon and testosterone. Okay. So that is the energy and calendar update, because I'll be constantly showing you guys how it's too coincidental. It's too coincidental that these religious holidays, and I've talked before about how the Julian calendar can change, and a lot of these calendars can change now. And I've also talked about I need to look into the Iranian calendar, because it's supposed to be the Persian calendar, because it's supposed to be the most correct calendar. Again, this is being taught and shown to us through the systems that also control said time and calendars and all that stuff. So I'm still doing some research on that, but ultimately, if everything was patriarchal and oral and communal, and this is across the board, and you still see it in the Persian cultures, you still see this. Mother, may I? Just saying. I'm gonna find you. Okay. thanks for joining me for this and for subscribing and watching. And if you have any, what is that? If you have any questions, comments, ideas, share with me. Please feel free. And yeah, I'm going to do another video about the Amazons, specifically out of the myths and secrets. I'm going to do a little more research, like I have the Webster's Encyclopedic Dictionary. I want to see what it says about Amazons. And I will post those videos. I think there's going to be 3 of them. One by Camaro Ahau, where he's talking about how South America is Pluto. Speaking of planets. And, oh my gosh, that actually added a lot to my excitement of this video today, because they talk about the alignments and they speak about some links and speak about the matriarchal link. And so I'm like, it's coming out. And another video about Tartaria, America Tartaria, and then another video on, well, I'm listening to this video right now, but I think I'd like to share it, which is basically some of the information from China, because in the Tartaria video he talks about some writings of the Chinese speaking about the Grand Canyon being a tree, which I've been saying. Okay. Anyhow, that led me to the video I'm in the middle of kind of watching right now, where it is it's on YouTube. It's pretty long, but it's basically a discussion about the Grand Canyon and many of the artifacts and historical artifacts in the Americas, Nevada being one of them, which is interesting because we have Salt Lake City, Utah, and then what is the other one in Nevada? Give me a second. Wait, did I not pause that and I just recorded me looking that up? That will be interesting. I may not be able, if I did do that, well, I'll find out. But anyways, I just looked up maybe religious groups in Nevada, because I was thinking about Salt Lake City, Utah, and all these, because one of the groups that does mimic Tartarian art are the Mormons. You'll see some of their churches and such look similar to the presentation of Tartaria, especially the Tabernacle Choir or the building that they have. Is that old Tartaria? Do they just reconstruct it? I don't know. But just some interesting land connections and indigenous connections and goddess connections. All right. And definitely check out, of course there would be 12 videos about the planets and the lands around the world, but I'm totally intrigued. I think that makes sense, that what we see outwardly is also interpreted on this planet and internally. So anyways, check out those as well. They'll be on my community. And okay, I look forward to seeing you until next time. Take care of you.